Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life at the Table. We're here on Thursday, May 21st. I'm Mark Truesdell. I'll be leading the devotional today. And we're going to go ahead and continue with the theme that I've been exploring over the last several weeks. It's just a huge theme and a big topic and a lot of things to talk about. So I'm still kind of excited to kind of bring that to you from my dining room here at the Truesdell household. So here's how it works. Usually we start with a communal prayer. And if you feel free to grab some food, some drink, and kick back and relax. The weather's getting better, much better than last time. Not a lot of special effects this time that I could see. And we're going to talk about faith over fear. But this time I'm kind of giving a little bit of twist. Stick with me because I'm going to go ahead and read two passages from way back in Genesis. And if you can go ahead and stick that out, you'll see that I have something special to attach to it at the end. Something that's relevant, something that's hopefully can inspire you and lead you through the week a little bit better. So here's our communal prayer. Be present at our table, Lord, be here and everywhere adored. Thy creatures bless and grant that we may feast in paradise with thee. Amen. Okay, so we're going to go way back in Genesis. We have two passages very similar in nature, but separating several years, a big time span in between the two passages. We have Genesis 12:10 through 20, and Genesis 20:1 through 18. Now, if you're not immediately familiar with those, who are, but who is, right? It's when Abram and Sarai, before they were Abraham and Sarah, journeyed to a certain place, Egypt and I believe in the Negev desert. And both times, Abram lies and says Sarai is his sister. Why does he do that? We're going to talk about that and what the implications are for why he does that twice, not once, but twice. Okay, here we go. So it's Genesis 12:10 to 20, and we're going to jump right into Genesis 21 through 18. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. When he was about to enter Egypt, he said to Sarai, his wife, I know that you are a woman beautiful in appearance, but when the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Say you are my sister, that it may go well with me because of you, that my life may be spared for your sake. When Abram entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. And when the princes of Pharaoh saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And for her sake he dealt well with Abram. And he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels. But the Lord afflicted Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say, she is my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. And Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Genesis 21 through 18. From there, Abraham journeyed toward the territory of the Negev and lived between Kadesh and Shur, and he sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, behold, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife. Now Abimelech had not approached her, so he said, Lord, will you kill an innocent people? Did he not himself say to me, she is my sister? And she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the innocence of my hands I have done this. Then God said to him in the dream, yes, I know that you have done this in the integrity of your heart, and it was I who kept you from sinning against me. Therefore I did not let you touch her. Now then return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, so he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return, know that you shall surely die, you and all who are yours. So Abimelech rose early in the morning and called his servants and told them these things, and the men were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, what have you done to us? And how have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done to me things that not ought to be done. And Abimelech said to Abraham, what did you see that you did this thing? Abraham said, I did it because I thought, there is no fear of God all in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, this is the kindness you must do to me. At every place to which we come, save me he is my brother." Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen and male servants and female servants and gave them to Abraham, and returned Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, "Behold, my land is before you. Dwell where it pleases you." To Sarah he said, "Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a sign of your innocence in the eyes of all who are with you, and before everyone you are vindicated." Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, and also healed his wife and female slaves, so that they bore children. For the Lord had closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Now, again, those were quite lengthy and extensive, but again, we're seeing a very distinct theme here of a lack of faith over fear. And you can even add on something here to the tail end of this and kind of skew that genre, saying a lack of faith leads to not only fear, but little white lies. Sometimes in some people, very large lies. To kind of tie this into the 21st century, I think that you probably have all experienced this if you have kids or even other adults that you live with, they're not very honest. Sometimes people feel that if they lie, then they're actually covering up something else that won't be uncovered later. But what ends up happening is little white lies lead to big lies, and it ends up really upsetting people and with a lack of trust and faith in that person later on down the road. I think in this particular instance, it's disturbing what Abraham does, because he is literally God's right-hand man at this time, the prophet that's going to start all of the Israelite people. Your people will be numbered more than the stars. And even though he has that special connection and that bond with God himself, God the Father, he still feels like he needs to be attached to mankind, and that he doesn't have faith that God will help him or will deliver Sarai or Sarah from this untimely death. So he lies not once but twice, and ends up getting the Pharaoh in trouble and Abimelech. And he goes one step further and insults God, Abraham does, by saying this is a people that has no fear in God, when in reality Abimelech did nothing but the sword. He did everything that God said. He was deeply fearful, and it made Abraham look very, very foolish in not only God's eyes, but in Abimelech's court, and even probably in his wife's. So what can we learn from this? If we have kids, try and tell them and convince them that just because they lie, it might mean that they're more afraid of not telling the truth. If they lie, they feel like they're covering up something, and they'll get more in trouble if they do tell the truth. In my particular household, I can't stand when my son or my sons or anyone lies to me. So if it's really bad, I just want them to be honest and know that there might be punishment, but it's going to be worse if what they did was wrong and they lied about it, deliberately to my face or to my wife and I's face. So as you go throughout the week, go back and reflect on Genesis. It's a really cool chapter, a lot of cool things going on. It's not all smoke and fire and brimstone. There's a lot of forgiveness, and it measures and it parallels some of the things in the New Testament as well, which some people tend to be more drawn to. Have a wonderful week. Keep asking yourself, what can I do not only to make myself happy and keep my mental health in this shutdown, but also through God and with God, what can I do to help my fellow man? Continue to dig deep into the scriptures as well as you feel comfortable. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it was a long one, and have a wonderful Memorial Day. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See ya.